Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. Disclaimer, just a heads up to all our lovely followers. Our social media is a space where we share personal stories, including those of various mediums. Let's keep the vibe positive and respect each other's beliefs. Every journey is unique, and here we celebrate the diversity of experiences. I'd like to welcome back to the show, beautiful soul, angelic master at heart, Jeannette. Welcome back, Jeannette.
Wow. I don't know how to follow up there. That's a lot. Thank you. It is an honor to be here, and very excited once again to be able to chit chat with you and everybody listening and clue them in on everything that actually goes on in their lives around them all the time that we don't see.
Yeah, exactly. And you have done an episode prior to this, which will be episode number 50. So for those listening or watching, go back and watch episode 50 and you'll see Jeanette's first interview, and it is jam-packed full of everything. You will hear how Jeannette got to where she is today and all these other little bits and pieces in between. And I tell you, it is a jam-packed episode. So make sure you go back and watch episode number 50. It's a beauty. Yeah. So Jeannette, you have a unique talent. You are skilled in many, many areas. I don't even know how you fit into your lifetime the things that you do.
So, call it slow burn. I think Spirit World knew not to ignite it all at once because it would have literally burnt me out. So it's just been coming throughout my life. And building slowly.
Yeah. So you've got a special, I'm going to say, happening that you're going to be doing for us today, but I'm going to let you talk about this, which we sort of have discussed, we believe will be a regular segment. So
Correct.
go ahead and tell, the viewers and listeners what that's all about.
I am a planner. I'm academic, which means you take this course to get to this spot, then you go to that spot, etc. So when I entered this world, and even with the courses that I took, I was like, well, where's the syllabus? What are you going to be talking about today? And what are they going to, and when the teacher, the instructor says, oh, I just let spirit tell me, I'm like, what? It was like learning a whole new language, the way all of this functions. And the trance, which started, if you watch episode 50, I discuss how kind of really mind-blowing that was for me because I wasn't ready for that. I really didn't know what it was or how it worked, what it meant. But it is a whole different level of communication, of really infinite communications. This is over the last 2 years what I found with angels, entities, aliens, family members. So it is just an open, completely open, infinite world of possibilities. And I know with all the different people who have been doing trans for 40, 50 years, God bless them, because they came out when this was like taboo, burn them at the stake situation. And a lot of them, they had careers, they had positions, families, and it was, they kept it under wraps, but they wrote books and they got out there. So I'm really not making any big waves here with what I have going on. I am basically on the show today. Thank you very much to my dear friend Michelle, because I have been instructed, which again kind of goes against this is what I'm going to do. This is what I selected, this course, this path, that they want messages to be brought to the attention of everyone. And it isn't that I am special or unique. What I was told is that they're utilizing as many as possible. So perhaps I will resonate with some people who will tell other people, and maybe there's somebody else who's doing it completely different, sounds different, or so. I'm just one of what they suggest is one speaker, and I think that's how they kind of showed it to me. Is I've got one speaker and yeah, I can hear it good enough. But if I bring out 3 or 4, it's even louder. And if I bring out enough, my neighbors are going to call the police and come to knocking on my door like, well, what do you got going on in your backyard today? So that is what they're attempting to do. So I finally have been able to come across a very welcoming, beautiful platform here with the Mediums table, and be able to share this. And I leave it in their hands. Like I said, very much unlike my personality and character, I am following in service of what they ask me to do. And that in it of itself to me is a wild thought, because I don't usually, my mom says that when I was about 6 years old, she would tell me to do something and I would say, I don't like to be told to do things. Which, as a parent, I think must have had to have made that really difficult to her. Like, excuse me, what? So it's taken me, these many years of my life to be able to say, okay, not only am I going to do what is being asked, but I can't necessarily see or materialize, or there's no emails coming from them. I don't know what the next thing is going to be, and it's a lot of trust of just turning yourself over and saying, okay. And a lot of like, I don't give a dang. Whatever people are going to think, people are going to think. And I'm okay with that, because I will tell you honestly, and I've told my daughter this, who got upset where I was doing a demonstration. Somebody kind of like said, Mom, she kind of got her purse and gave this big look and walked out. And I said, honey, if it were me, I got to be honest with you, and I went to some demonstration, I was expecting X, Y, and Z, and I got purple, pink and tie-dyed. I got colors instead of numbers or whatever. It's hard to be okay with something like that. That's so out of the norm, so unexpected. But here I am. And so what I'm hoping we're going to be doing is whenever they're telling me, hey, we've got something we want to share, be able to connect with Michelle and bring that message to all of you.
Yeah. And it's important that when you listen or you're watching episodes like this, like what Jeanette's about to do, is to understand that each medium channeler is unique and different. And if you are a medium or a channeler and you've been taught with rules, we throw those rules out, because we are open to diversity and we are open to the uniqueness of each individual and how those messages are to be communicated and received to the audience across the world. So come in with no expectation, open heart and an open mind. And that is how you will receive these messages clearly. You will feel them, not only hear them, and you will find that there will be something in there that will resonate on some level.
Resonate many times, repeat, because I think sometimes when an entity or a being or spirit or an energy is trying to reach you, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, and you go about your day, there'll be another one and there'll be another one. It's like they kind of hit you over the head. And if you're listening to this show or any of her other wonderful podcasts that she's done, it's because you're interested. It's because something is calling you. Something has given birth. It's growing inside you of like, I think there's more. I understand all the chaos and craziness that's happening in the world. There's got to be something else here. And it's just the dogmas and the way we were trained when I first started taking courses 3 years ago. They said, no, as a medium, you can't say, I'm going to call your Uncle Frank. Whoever comes in, that's the person they get. I'm like, well, that's like me going to a restaurant, having somebody serve me something, and I was not in the mood for that at all. Now, I understand I'm asking for a particular thing. You're out of it, because that does happen. You can ask for a particular person, and for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, truly, they don't come through. Rarely happens, because usually they're the ones that have put the thought in your head that they want to connect with you. And you think it's the other way around. That you're like, oh, I've been thinking of my great aunt, whatever, and I wonder if she can come through. Well, she's been waiting. So there you have it. So yes, definitely. And even for us working in the field, many times I need to remind myself, whoa, hold up. You're making a judgment based on what? Because there really isn't any evidence. That's the beauty of all of this. So yeah, that individual was talking to Tesla on that last podcast I heard. Cool. What did he say? Is he wondering how he never made any money off of his inventions? What happened there? But, and what does he have any greater inventions for our future? So it's very human, though, to stand there and or sit or whatever you're doing and be like, oh, I'm not buying this for a minute, which is okay. We're all entitled to that. But all I'm saying is somewhere, somehow, eventually, something will reach you, a book, somebody else, a podcast, somebody discussing something, on a bus at a party, and you'll start to wonder. And again, like I said, and if you're here, you've been wondering, and here you go. Michelle's got plenty of stuff for you to listen to.
Curiosity is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It certainly is. Well, Jeannette, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So just a little bit about my trance, because I'm getting ready to go into that. I think I've said at the beginning, they were, and I realize that it's happened to me my whole life, but I just thought I was a little loopy or something else happening. It can be a family member coming through. It can be an angel coming through. I brought through an angel of passing, she said. And like I said, aliens, which to me was really difficult. I really stood in judgment of that and of myself and what was taking place for quite a while. So, and I leave it open to them. I set intentions, yes, but my intentions aren't necessarily, I want the angel of passing or I want to speak to the aliens. I'm open to receive and to be of service with the intention of the greatest light for all of those listening, and and for goodness. You know what I mean? It's nothing negative. These should be, even if the messages hold things that are difficult to hear, the end result in vibration should be something positive that we all can sense at a frequency vibrational level and can, step away with that at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. So again, be open, allow yourself to feel into the messages and also hear them.
Let it resonate with you. And if it's not, let it sit with you. It's going to do what it's going to do anyway, So let it just sit with you, and it was about rings when it's ready to fly. Yeah. Dang, that was really good. I don't think that was mine. I don't think that was mine. That was very, very pretty. All right, I'll take that one.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, whenever you're ready, Jeannette. And now when Jeannette starts to go into a trance state, I will cut that piece out because it's like watching someone meditate or sleep, so to speak. So during the silence, we're just going to allow Jeannette to go into that state and enter into the channeling process. And then we'll just cut from about here to when her team starts to speak, or whoever it is that decides to come in through Jeannette.
Exciting. It's like the dating game. Remember that old show? Yeah. Yeah. Like people are going to figure out how old I am now, but it's not until you open that door, you're like, oh, okay, that's who came through today. Oh.
Yeah. Surprise.
I thank you in advance for your time and your patience, Michelle, because she is stuck watching me, and I go through this. And
It's all
sometimes
good.
it takes 2 minutes. If it's like a deeper trance and it's a longer trance, it can be up to like 7 minutes. And that's a long time to watch somebody roll their head around, with no real action happening.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
More than happy to hold space for you and your team.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
And
Well,
I'll
enjoy. Hopefully you will all find something positive and uplifting and helpful in whatever's going to be coming through today.
Yeah.
Much love and light we bring to all of you this night. We come from afar, and yet we are always near. At this moment, through this vessel, there were many wishing to bring their message to those of you listening now, listening in the past, and listening in the future. However, it was decided that this evening, the resonance, the intonation, the vibration, and the energy that was called for was one of peaceful neutrality, of calming waters, and of stillness. For with each message that is passed, it is passed with an energy and a frequency. It is as if what is known to you olfactory as a sense of smell, if you will. If you smell delicate rose, remind you of something peaceful. If you smell something harsh, burning ember left in a fire of smoke, also generates memories, bringing forth emotion. This evening, we wish to be but a light breeze that blows through, that re-energizes awe and brings that one element known to all, treasured by all, and sought for from the beginning of time, that is always in you, with you, and about you, before, after, and always. That one element and vibration, which is love. This word is used nonsensically by humans daily. Perhaps because of that, it has lost its true force when it is heard. But when it can be felt, when the heartstrings of humanity are gently plucked as if it were a harp, the resonance almost feels as though it cannot be withheld within what is the cavity of your vessel. And what takes place then is a beautiful and glorious visual for us. For it is light that emanates from each one of you, extending outward, and one soul's love connecting with another infinitely, as if it were a mirrored effect. When this takes place, all of the earth vibration raises to a level of joy, the joy radiating from the core that runs underneath it, which is love. It is a powerful instrument that can be used in everything that you wish to accomplish. It can be used to heal. It can be used to harmonize individuals that cannot find ways of peacefully connecting and seeing the perspective that each one may have given a particular situation. But one rarely there reaches inward for that love, which is connected to all, through all time. Instead, they seek it in other things that are disruptive, that are negative, that are frightening, and that weaken the vessel. Substances that only temporarily bind with your molecular physiology, when all along the treasure that is not hidden, that each of you carry within you, is available. And this night, we wish to replay a message that has been written from the time of scrolls to today's contemporary, quick communications through your own wavelengths, to seek inside. And that when you truly connect with that vibration of love, it is all empowering. You can change that emotion that perhaps you did not want to be experiencing, for you are reminded how you are all things, and how this small encompassing vessel of yours is but an instant. It is but a mechanism for experiencing. It is total regeneration. It is everything. If you can reconnect, you will see all things through different eyes. And in seeing things that are occurring within your world differently, the emotional response, the tension, the anxiety, the inner torment and struggles that occur from verbiage that is heard, evaporates, dissipates. For although these are factual occurrences in your time, it is but an instant again in what is infinite, what is timeless, meaning there is no such thing as time. Each and every one of you, regardless education, color, background, economic standing, etc., has the capability to sense, to feel, and to vibrate with that enormous. Know that we and many others come in multitudes, uncountable at this time, not only to bring you such messages, but to be near you, to activate, utilizing parts of your mind that were created for just such moments as these. There is no more to be said, for the message encompasses your sense of reconnecting with the core that is you, that is all things, that is love. We pray that you have been able to sense the emotions and the different frequencies that are always available to you. Blessings always to all.
Welcome back, Jeannette, and thank you to your spirit team for channeling that, I want to say, kind yet factual, loving message. And for anyone that's listening or watching, that message is for every single person on this planet. It is for everyone, and it is a very, very timely reminder to go back to who we are, who we truly are. I love that. I did go into like a waking trance state with you, just listening and just watching. It was just like, okay, don't close your eyes and go there with her because you may not come back.
Somebody's got to stop it at some point, right? Yeah.
Exactly. But that was incredible. And people may have noticed there was a break between when the message ended and when we started talking, because I like to make sure you've had a little bit of private time to come back out of that, because that can be, you experience physically a myriad of whether it's emotions or feelings or, disconnectedness from your human self. So I like to give, it was nice to give you some private time to come back. So if people are wondering why the video was cut at the end to now, for that reason. So I need to respect your privacy in the coming back into the human body, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. And that one took me a little bit. It was, I really thought it was going to be the aliens because they're the ones that are always like on. And like I said, the last, this was just I never really did drugs, but people would talk about Quaaludes back, in the day. And I got to think maybe that's what that would feel like. I don't know. Really relaxed, uh, really relaxed. And like I said, unexpected, because throughout the day, I was like, well, I don't know. And people say, set your intentions. And then I have to remind myself that I kind of went into this thing coming from a science background and statistics and psychology, where you need to prove, reliability, validity, and sometimes, yeah, there's a lot of evidence, and sometimes it's not about that. So I just am okay with whatever it is. I have, like I said, for me to give my power to to whatever, let alone something I don't know. And like tonight, I didn't know what it was going to be. I thought maybe it would have been the aliens, because they're like, we're going to show up any minute. People are like, when? I don't know. But this was very unexpected, and my energy is usually very high energy, loud, excitable. So for me to be able to, it's really very different than my normal balance and what goes on with me physiologically. So coming out of it, I think maybe what happens with me is like, I'm like in such a Zen place where I'm like, man, do we really need to go back to that body? Who said that we got to go back? I mean, because that's a whole other thing. If we're not going to have limits and there aren't going to be any rules, and we're going to let a higher source that, is, greater knowing and just being open to all of that. But yeah, but obviously I've got, this is what I always say. It's kind of like you have two horses that are leading you, and one is your life, which you have to do, because that's kind of where you're learning stuff. You're going through stuff, you're helping other people, helping yourself, making a mistake, learning from the mistake. So that's why you're here. And then there's this other one, that other horse that's like, ooh, and that can be really nice. It's like when you have a small child and you lift them up and you bring them down, what's the first thing they say? Again, again. So yes, it's kind of like, again, yeah, take me again. I want to experience that again. Do I really need to come back here right this moment? No. So it takes a bit. So thank you. I don't really remember. I remember a feeling, which was, and even in just saying it, I'm kind of feeling it here, right? And like my heart chakra, where I felt expanding, but in like just a really beautiful way, like a real happy, loving way. Like when you see a beautiful moment, like sometimes, in an airport, there's so many people and you'll see people hugging hello, and if you can connect with that feeling that's going on with them. And sometimes it's just like, it makes you feel great, little kids with their parents hugging and stuff. So I felt something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It felt very angelic, soft, gentle, nurturing. Like even, as I want to say, she was speaking through you, because the whole time you're speaking, for me, it felt like a beautiful feminine angel, like just so beautiful and soft and nurturing and just full of light and love. And towards the end, I could start to feel this. It was almost like a triggering emotion. It was just so exactly as you say. And as I'm talking, I'm putting my hands on my chest, on my heart. It was just beautiful. Beautiful and I mean deeply beautiful. But you could feel the softness, the gentleness behind the message. Wow. That was incredible. And I truly a message for everyone. It was not a specific one topical, only for certain people. This was for everyone. So I can definitely say that.
That's, I think, incredibly generous. And like I said, when people say, you know, what exactly, what are you going to do? And I guess maybe that's one of my issues when I go to do a demonstration or something, and I'm like, look, I really don't know. And so if you're going to take a Friday or Saturday night and pay $20 or $30 or whatever it is to go somewhere, I mean, like, I want to know what's playing at the movie theater. I'm just going to buy a ticket and go sit there. Like, so I get it. So I can kind of give you, like, this is what has come through. So maybe this is what will continue to come through. But I recognize that who am I? I'm, to direct anything or select what should be put out there right now. They have a much higher perspective, intellect, a sense of everything going on globally in our entire planet and beyond. I'm sure the moon, I heard, is getting farther away, which causes ABC. I don't know. They're so, when you get into it, you can go a little crazy. So I kind of like step back and go like, hey, I'm going to go play with the dog in the yard, lie in the grass, look up at the clouds for a little bit. Yeah, get grounded.
Yeah.
So, but I am happy, like I said, to serve and to put whatever out there that, my team of light and those beings that are working with myself and many others who are willing to do this.
Yeah.
And just and hope that people can get something out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to add that, to go into something like this and watch, like you say, you never know what's going to come through. This is where I encourage people, go in knowing that you're going to see the wow factor. That's it. It's a surprise wow factor. Imagine that, like a mystery box. Pandora's box is going to be opened. What's going to be inside? Go there with that anticipation.
My niece loves to buy these little egg things, and I'm trying to get her to buy something more interesting. I don't know. We were at a toy store the other day, and she's like, "No, Auntie, but I don't know what's in there." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, there's like 30 things, and you're looking." She wants like 2 in particular. I go, the statistical probability. Meanwhile, her face just kind of goes like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Okay, get a couple more eggs, because then you have greater probability." And she's like, "I don't know that word. I just want these little things that maybe they'll come in there." And she was super thrilled and excited with whatever it was that she got.
Yeah.
But I do think that whatever comes through, like tonight, it's meant for whenever this is going to air and for whatever is going on. And if you air something like this again in 5 years or whatever, it's probably because maybe the same message needs to be heard.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not going to give it away for those who might just tune in now at the end, but it really is a message. It is a timeless message for everyone. And, again, this is going to be a regular segment. We're going to let's see how it plays out. So there are going to be regular messages from Jeanette's team, and it's going to be a Pandora's box of who's it going to be next time.
I think we should come up with a cute little song like the dating game.
Yeah. Who's behind door number 3? So
but I hope, I pray really that whoever watches this resonates with it and that it lifts them somehow or heals them somehow. Because I also felt with this message that there was like an energy that came through. So it wasn't just verbiage. I think there was a source there that is meant to connect with those who listen and watch.
Definitely. And again, for me, and everyone will experience it differently, it felt very nurturing, almost like a mother speaking gently to a child that is so dearly loved. That's how it felt. So, and I encourage the viewers and listeners, put your comments below. How did you feel? What did you feel?
Oh, I would love feedback. Yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Then I could statistically see how many did this and how many did that and how many times this word was repeated.
It would satisfy your scientific mind. Yes.
I do that. Like I pass out questionnaires at the end of my demonstrations, and I like beg them to please fill it out on a scale of 1 to 5. You know what I mean? Not at all. Yes, whatever. So
Yeah. No, that's
so
beautiful.
it gives me an idea. Like I said, just for me, because it has nothing. That's my thing. That has nothing to do with anything else. Of like, oh, okay, this is kind of what people were feeling, and this is what the takeaway was.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Jeannette, for your unlimited connections. And I really appreciate, as I'm sure others do who have got to this, they've listened, watched, and are now here with me. Thank you so much for bringing your team through and the messages for us today. It was incredible. And I look forward to hearing what the next one is, because it's also so relevant to what's happening now. And again, like I said, a very timely reminder for everybody. But more importantly, how can people find you, and can they have this kind of service with you just for themselves?
Right. So I can be found at Jeannette Connects, and that's JeanneTTE. Yes, my mom made my name very difficult. I was the last kid in first grade to learn how to spell it. Anyway, JeannetteConnects.com. And I do all kinds of stuff. I'll do readings. I do trance. I do readings that sometimes turn into trance when your loved one wants to bypass me and just speak directly to you. So it'll be similar to what happened here. But what I've been told is sometimes I'll do gestures, and, it's a very special and unique honor to be able to have spirit that close within you speaking to their person. It's super intimate. So all my stuff is on there, anything that they would like to do. And if there's something that they want to do that's not on their sense, of course, limitless, I'm ready to listen. I'll give it a try. Sure. So I'm up for listening to whatever anybody would like to have done, and just helping. That's my goal. At this point in my life, I've had my child, I did my house, and this came about, which to me is fascinating, interesting, like I said, because it's limitless. There's so much more to learn, wormholes, out of body things. I mean, there's always a new, I'm like, wait, what was that? I want to get a book on that one. So yes, but my goal really is if somebody can leave feeling they have a lighter heart. Sometimes there's relationships that are mended when a family member who left with unfinished business comes through. I've seen that happen. That's amazing. Because that individual's like, no wonder I never knew why my mom was like that. And to watch that unfold, it's an honor. Because like I said, it's intimate, it's very private, it's people's lives, but they're things that have like just stuck with them that have been painful. And it's released. Yeah. That's so special to be able to be a part of that.
It is incredible.
Something like that. I'm very honored with the work that I'm doing. And like I said, so I listen and I do, begrudgingly, very much contrary to my personality, but that's what I'm about. So yeah.
Wow, amazing. And I'm sure those that have already been able to experience your services would be in absolute great gratitude for how you've helped them. And these sort of modalities are healing. They help with grief. They help people get closure. They help people get connected back to those who are on the other side, or should I say, and transitioned.
I love when it's like a pet. I mean, I remember a horse. I'm like, I'm seeing a horse with like gray spots. And I thought it was really wild because it was an elderly lady. I'm like, and she was a city person. And she's like, oh, I used to ride that horse. And it was thanking her for sugar cubes and apples,
Aw, that's gorgeous.
But it melted her heart because it took her back, not just to the horse, but to a time when she was like 12 years old or something. And so she was like, boom, taken back to that point in her life. and remembering the farm and just so many things. It was like a little mini journey for her.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, gorgeous. There you go. So all the parents of fur babies, there's another service that Jeannette can offer you. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jeannette. And I will put the links in the description below anyway, so people can find you easily. Thank you again for being on the show, and I look forward to having you back again very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, and many blessings, and may you continue to expand infinitely. I love it when you can just finish with how you started. Thank you so much. You have a great night.
To view the show notes, head over to themediumstable.com.au. If you want to watch these episodes, head over to our YouTube channel, The Medium's Table Podcast.